Okay, well done.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
hi guys, welcome to MTAG More Than a Game, and to our post-match review of the fourth T20 international between India and England, which was played just now at Ahmedabad, and a proper nail biter at that, which has seen India come out victorious by 8 runs and force the series into the decider on to force this series into a decider for Saturday. And joining us today for this live for this discussion, we have Rahul, Puneet, and Saurabh, three very avid cricket fans, three people who know their cricket very very well. And so, welcome, guys. It's a pleasure to have you guys on the stream, and we so that we can discuss the game and a lot more.
Thanks, Avinav.
Thanks for
Thank you
having
so
us.
Thanks a
much.
lot. Thanks a lot, Avinav, for inviting me on your show.
Well, a pleasure.
Plus one. Plus one.
Today, okay. So today I mean, let's start off with the man of the moment today, Suryakumar Yadav, coming back into the team in place of Ishan Kishan, who apparently had a niggle to deal with, and then walking out at number three again uh, over this. Over Virat Kohli. So, what do you think? How did it go?
I mean,
I think it was such a great performance from Suryakumar Yadav, like to hit a first ball six to Jofra Archer, the fastest bowler for England team and the best bowler in T20 cricket. To have that audacity, to have that game to play that the first ball for six was something that showed that how he's going to play his innings in the further part of his knock. So I think it was expected because Sky has been doing quite well in the IPL. I think IPL is a precursor to international cricket. So he IPL this is something I believe that the kind of young players who are coming to the national arena and playing such fearless cricket for Indian team is the reason is IPL. I think the IPL has given them the platform to perform. I think the IPL has given them the platform to play against the best bowlers and to don't be scared of them and against some great bowlers. I think that's the reason. That's how Sky has done today. I think he had no fear. He was confident. He just wanted to show that he belongs to the stage and the kind of shots he played. I think he was not looking at his playing his first international innings. He's a prominent member of the team. He was playing like that. So I think I was it was expected of Sky to play well. I always thought that he belongs to this place 1 year before only. He got his debut and he has showed that he is the man. I think he's the man to be in this team at three and four positions. I think brilliant knock. I think amazing knock.
Saurabh, what do you think? I mean, for a guy walking into bat in international cricket for the first time and hitting his first ball out for a six, I mean, things that dreams are made of. So, what do you think about how about Suryakumar Yadav today?
unfortunately, I haven't been able to watch his innings. I'm so sorry I missed it. But yeah, actually, I watched it through the commentary. I can say I can watch it through. But what I say, all thanks to IPL and the competitive cricket, these guys are always ready. The way Ishan Kishan played 57, 56 runs,
Hmm.
33
Yes.
balls, the
Yes.
way Suryakumar Yadav played, it shows that they are coming up with a rank without of burden because they are a showstopper of
Hmm.
IPL, won the matches for their respective franchise under the circumstances where they played bowlers like Delstein, Jofra, Bumrah, Umesh, Shami, anyone, Ashwin, day in day out, either at net or on the field. So I must say they are. This is such a way you may say that what was due, he did it today. Really proud of the Sky, and that's why the reason people say sky is no limit. Something
Uh,
absolutely true. So it's an amazing knock. I have gone through the Quick Info's commentators, the way they used to write, the way they described it. I must say, amazing. I really like the firing spirit, the running between the wicket sprints, shots. Amazing. I must say, sir. big round of applause.
You summed it up quite well there, Saurabh. And coming to Rahul, I mean, what did you for you? What was it that stood out in Suryakumar Yadav's knock today? What was it that impressed you the most when he was batting while he was batting today?
I think he just his intent. He's not playing out balls. He's pushing for runs. He was scoring at such a good rate, and he's such a lovely player to watch bat. It's beautiful. And like Saurabh and Puneet said, IPL is to he created IPL, and also he should credit Mumbai Indians because they are such a well set T20 side, and Surya has been able to play for Mumbai, without like similar way without fear because of the batting depth they have. So that must also help. Um, yeah, I mean Mumbai have also had a lot of quality pacers throughout the years. They always pick overseas pacers, so all this experience it's good, and at least it's good that India sent him a number 3 because there's nothing to learn from him batting a number 6, number 5. They gave him a chance. He took the chance, and not everyone takes the chance. Sanju Samson, everyone knows he has the potential, but he hasn't taken his chance. Surya, first game, he's hit a 50, taking the team to victory. So I hope to see him in the team in the coming games as well.
Okay.
Just wanted to
Yeah.
pitch in something. I think
Sure.
what's the best thing about Surya is like the time he has to play shots. Like he can play a back foot punch. He can play cut. He plays the balls anywhere around the ground. I think he's one of the few players who is a 360 versatile player who can play all around the ground, and he can manipulate the fielders. I think that's something which stood him out of the other domestic Indian T20 players. That's why he's there. He's on this stage in international cricket and has performed so well. He has the right attitude and has the right game for it. I think he would be quite successful in T20 cricket for India.
Okay. Now
I would
coming.
like to
Yeah.
I would
Sure.
like to add one point here. I
Mhm.
think he can be really handy and can replace Suresh Raina's position in ODI team because he can play really well at 5, 6, and 7 without a fear. Because last 10 overs, 15 overs, he'll come and he will have 60 to 80 balls to go. 5 out of 10 times he will score 30 plus runs. I'm 100% sure. And one day, if it is his day, you never know exactly how many runs he will score. So I
We
think
saw that.
this is the
We saw
right
that.
time when we can actually check it in. And one more thing which actually I'm missing over here about Suryakumar Yadav is his bowling, because when I first heard about him way back like 5-7 years ago, he used to be a slow medium pacer. He used to be slow medium pacer. He took the few wickets also during his earlier first class matches and all. And then he stopped bowling quite obvious. But again, if he can work on such kind of stuff, I think it would be amazing. Really.
I think it's. I mean, we can go on and on about what Surya did today, but let's get into our next discussion point. This new emerging rivalry between Virat Kohli and Adil Rashid. 8 times in international cricket, Adil has had the number of the Indian captain, and today again, Adil Rashid just outfoxed him completely and sent back Kohli for just a solitary run. What do you guys think? I mean, what is it to you that is striking about how Kohli is approaching somebody like an Adil Rashid or even Adam Zampa, who's given him a bit of grief previously as well? What do you think is his what do you think is becoming a bit of an issue in his game against leg spinners of that kind?
What
I'll
I
start with Rahul. Sorry.
I mean, I'm not too sure, like technically, what's the issue, but um, it's tough to say. Like leg spin, he's been getting out to leg spinners quite often in the last few years, and whenever teams bring the leggy on, I'm always worried. Oh, he may try to push for runs and then he'll get out, and we have seen this kind of dismissals. It didn't used to be the case when they say 2015, 2016. So I don't know. He has to find a way of working against this weakness. Yeah.
Puneet, what do you think? I mean, there's definitely some sort of an issue that's creeping up with Virat and Adil Rashid with the fact that it's the eighth time that he's been dismissed in international cricket at the hands of Adil Rashid. What do you think? I mean, where is it in whatever opinion you have? Where is it going wrong for Virat against him?
I think he's not reading from their hands. Like I think he's been out to a lot of googlies. I think even to Rashid and even to Zampa. And I think also he's misjudging the lens side because he's playing drives at times to leg spinners and getting out to balls coming in, which is a googly. And think at times he's not judging the lens. So I think not judging the lens and not reading from the hand or what bowler is trying to ball to him. And that's why bowlers have been outfoxing him a lot, especially the leg spinners. Leg spinners. So I think something wrong, I think, in terms of judging the lens and not reading from the hands. Maybe they're bowling little faster in terms, which is causing problems for Virat to judge it better. So that's something an issue for Virat in last few years in terms of doing that.
Saurabh, what do you think?
See, what I found out that actually Indian players are having, especially Rohit, Virat. These guys are having issue playing leg spin, a quality leg spin. It's a person who ball fast. Same condition they played bad, you may say, against Imran Tahir. Same with Rashid Khan. Same with Abdul Rashid. But again, when it comes to the classy bowlers, they don't have any issue at the loop in because they get a time, come up and straight 6, 4, single, double.
Yes.
Here they don't get chance. They get stuck in the creech. So that's why the reason they are not able, because they are basically a player who play with the basically Kohli play with his foot a lot. So when ball comes faster, it's a little bit tougher for him because especially when he's under pressure. Initial stage of his innings, not in the mid. In a mid, he doesn't out with anyone. You come over with anyone. But initial 5 to 10 balls, if you are Rashid Khan, if you are
Zampa and Adil Rashid.
Zampa is a different case altogether here because Zampa gets ball a lot of loops and all. So I think there's a problem with different kind. Not in a he gets out from Zampa. I'm telling you in a middle overs also. But again, yeah, Mr. Kabir is asking, didn't understand Kohli's decimal. What a wild shot. Yeah, for 5 ball 1 run, he was on a 4. He was supposed to score run. Suryakumar Yadav on another side who was knocking down the ball. But India was under pressure. So it's bound to happen. And sometimes what happened that initial phase, even though last match also when Kohli was playing, you must know that Kohli was little slow at the earlier stage.
Yes.
And then he built his innings post 15 overs. Because he scored 49 out of 16 balls last match. After all. So this might be a part of the stuff.
I think what happened with Kohli, I just wanted to answer Kabir. I think what happened with Kohli today was like he wanted to target the shorter side, which was playing inside out. And what Rashid did smartly was he bowled a googly at that time, and the ball came into him, and he was smarter to Virat Kohli, and he outfoxed him. Virat Kohli tried to come down the track, played an inside out, which was shorter side to score a boundary, and it was needed to. He wanted to dominate Rashid because he had his struggles in the past. And that's where Rashid was smarter and he bowled a googly, and that was the reason why I think Kohli was totally outdone by Rashid.
Connected to that, it's Kaushik has asked the question: what is the main reason of Virat stepping out so early? Is it because the start India got with only the 1 wicket falling in the power play, or is it, or were it clear plans that were laid out before the game? I'll start with Rahul about that.
It might be clear plans. India also going in with a deeper batting, so he does have the license to push for runs earlier. So it must be a case of plans because we don't see Kohli doing. He doesn't do the same for RCB, like not as a Cavalier early on. So it must be a case of great plans to push, and at least India still got a good score even without his contribution. So that's a plus point.
Okay, Rahul, there is a question coming in from Atul, and it's about your namesake once again, KL Rahul. another disappointing game for him. What do you and similarly to that, there's Kabir who's asked this. What's it with KL Rahul, and do you think is his place in this team in under jeopardy now or not? We'll take Puneet out on this first.
I think, first of all, I think KL Rahul, in terms of skills, is one of our best T20 batsmen. I think the
Yes.
issue with KL Rahul, with what I've seen in the past, is when he comes into a side after a long time, it takes time to get into his groove. He
Hmm.
in first few matches he plays very conservative game of cricket. He takes time
Hmm.
and then he plays his natural brand of cricket for Indian team, as far as I
Yes.
know. But the issue with Rahul is that I think what he needs to learn is, because there are a lot of players who are in the bench who he's playing in place of them, who have done quite well with the performance of Kishan, the performance of Shreyas Iyer in the late middle order, and as well as at the top at four, along with Sky. I think Rahul's place can be in question mark in next few months if he doesn't perform, because he has got 4 matches in this series. I think he would get the final match. I think he should so also, because he is a number 4 T20 batsman. He should be backed. But I think he can't be going on like this because playing so many dot balls at the top and creating unnecessary pressure on players like Rohit Sharma and the players to follow like Sky or Virat Kohli. So I think he has his place. His position would be in question mark if he doesn't perform in the next few matches as well, because we have a lot of good talent in the bench.
I'll go to Rahul only now to answer about our about his namesake about KL Rahul. What do you think? What do you think, Rahul? Where is it
Um,
going wrong for him?
I mean, today was more disappointing than last game. At least you get out early on. You're not wasting balls. Today he played out balls and then got out. So that's neither here nor there. But like Puneet said, he does take time um to get runs going, and he also seems like kind of guy. It's with things not going right. He doesn't seem. I mean, just the body language. Like I don't know how much you can read into it, but when he gets out, he's just trudging along. It must be a case of confidence, lack of confidence. But they keep saying they're backing him, and he's not going anywhere. So I don't think he should be dropped. He's a quality batsman, so at least give him the chance to bat out of it.
Okay. Now we move into probably the biggest hot topic of today's game. It is about the umpiring, and with that, we have a question from our very own Shubhan Chakravarti. Thoughts on the umpiring? We start with Saurabh.
Uh, as when our captain already been asked and said that ICC needs to look hard on that particular soft out, or giving the
Soft
signal of
signal.
soft out.
The soft
Yeah,
signal.
soft signal. This is absolutely rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. Because see, either you are out or you are not out. You are transferring your decision to the third umpire, and the third umpire has to go and influenced by the ground umpire decision. It's
Hmm.
absolutely bullshit. Because
Yes.
when you're going to third umpire, why you're going to third umpire? You're going to third umpire because you're having a doubt whether the player is out or not out. Then how
Yes.
he exactly can give the stop signal as out or not out? Example, I haven't seen, or I haven't watched the Suryakumar catch, but I clearly saw when Washington Sundar hit that six. It was six actually. It was clear cut.
Yes.
For whatever reason, I don't know whether Virender Sharma forgot his spectacles at home or somewhere else. I have no idea about it. But I'm sure about he missed something somewhere else. He should go tomorrow to visit a doctor. I can give a reference. Also in Ahmedabad, there's a very good doctor is there. Because it's absolutely with the nude eye you can see. And uh, I actually second to our captain's thing, which he tweeted also on that time also, that he was not happy with the Suryakumar Yadav decision, as well as on Washington Sundar, and ICC needs to look into it immediately. Even Akash Chopra was on air, clearly said that ICC needs to really needs to take care of this soft signal. They need to take this soft signal out from the system. If you're going to third umpire, let them take a call according to the circumstances and the witnesses or whatever the situation they are into. They should not be influenced by the umpires. Period.
Okay, Puneet, your thoughts about the umpiring today? Sure.
But here, only one point I want to add here.
Pure.
There is no fault in umpiring because umpire has followed the MCC rule book.
Yes.
So it's the problem from the ICC and the lawmakers. They need to look into it. But again, the third umpire has to give that out. He might not able to give that out because it was according to that inconclusive, because the foot when that touched that rope, nothing actually was visible. That either it has been like little bit here, a little bit it has been like 1 centimeter also it removed from the place where it was. So that's why there is an inconclusive. But again, it's ICC.
Puneet, your views about the umpiring today. I think there will be quite a few things that people will be seeing today, and with that also, Kabir just commented the problem is in the soft signal. The third umpire had enough evidence to overturn the decision. Puneet, why don't you take that? What do you think about it?
See, the first thing, I totally don't know what is this soft signal and what it is based on. I think the umpire giving something as out or not out, seeing when the ball has gone to the boundary ropes or on the boundary, how can he give it as a soft signal? This is what the fielding team is trying to say. Like, how can you believe on a fielding team? Like, fielding team would always see everything as out. So, and then basing that on the basis of inconclusive decision on soft signal is totally rubbish and totally stupid. Today, if there was no soft signal, and what happened with Sky and what happened with Washington Sundar, I totally agree, it was inconclusive, and no one could be sure whether the ball touched the ground or whether his legs were on the boundary ropes. So it was inconclusive. So according to the old rules, which are pretty better, which are quite fine and better, if the decision is if the ball is if it's inconclusive, we should have given the decision in the favor of batsman. And it was better rules than what we have right now. This soft signal is totally in favor of the fielding team because everything is soft. Because everything the fielding team would say it out, umpire would give it as a out, and then if it's inconclusive, which is bound to happen in most of the time in terms of catches, it would be out. And today, I think 90% I'm sure. I think Sky catch was totally grounded, and it was, I can see from my naked eyes, from my eyes, that it was totally out. It was touching the ground. But even if there's slight hint of inconclusiveness, the soft signal should be totally scrapped. I think ICC in the next meeting should scrap this rule, go back to the old rules which we had 10 years before, that anything inconclusive, batsman gets the favor of it, not the fielding team.
Yes. Rahul, what do you think about it? I mean, there's just, the kind of umpiring that's happened today, I think it's been quite shoddy, especially from the third umpiring perspective. Your views about it?
I mean, I'm in the same. I have the same thoughts. How can they judge? Especially, for the Sundar one, how can the on-field umpire know it is back foot? And who knows? Who on the ground can see that whether his foot is touching the ropes or not? So for such decisions, it can't be a black and white soft signal. For such decisions, you just have to go to the third umpire and let him decide on his own.
But Rahul bhai, what I think here, just to include that, if it was not given soft signal out, or if directly it could have gone to the third umpire, it was actually not out. It would have been 6 more, and the last over they might have to score 6 ball 29 rather than the 6 ball 23. Yes.
True.
So it's a huge difference of the 6 runs.
Yeah,
that more than a wicket is a 6 runs and 1 dot ball.
Inconclusive means not out. I think that's the rule which we have been following.
But that is nothing called inconclusive. The problem is that they only didn't able to say anything because that boundary line, that rope didn't able to move. They didn't able to find whether that rope had moved in or out or not. A little bit even, due to whatever reason it is. For example, you saw this David Malan's, or whom it was the stumping chance. David Malan's only. One angle it looked like his foot was in air. Another angle it showed that it was grounded. So that's a part and parcel. But again, everybody knows, and Kaptan, everyone here, Rahul, Puneet, or Abhinav, We all know that that was a decision those two decisions were a bullshit decisions, and stop signal doesn't actually work.
Uh, okay.
I mean, one point about the umpiring as well. In the 15th over, Rishabh Pant hit a six that was given as four. Okay, that's what I read on info.
Yes.
And then I was looking at Twitter because I was wondering how come no one's complaining about this. And like I saw fans, but like no. So like, did you see it? And did you see that?
Yes, I did see that. I did see that. I think it should have been a six. I think it was. It kind of it just about made it inside the boundary rope. Went over the boundary rope completely. I think it's a bad decision. I think again, this third umpires had a pretty rough day today.
Bad
I think.
day. Very bad day.
To be a little harsh on it, I think he probably had a little too much of toddy before the game, and it just didn't work out too well. But yeah, jokes aside, but I think Gaurav Sundaraman of ESPN Cricket Info really put it well. I think the MCC needs to look at the rule book before it affects a World Cup final.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
I think he was very much on point. I think there's got to be something which has to be done for that. And now let's take another YouTube comment. Shashank Sharma saying Stokes ka catch and the fire emojis. I think everyone agrees that that catch is once again Nasser Sen going, no way, you cannot do that, Ben Stokes. Once again, it is a crazy catch. I think everyone would agree to that. And Arnab Bhattacharya, Arnab's tweet put out, what is the turning point of the match? So we'll go with Rahul for that. For you, what is the turning point of this game?
Thakur's 2-2. That really, at that point, you'd back England to chase, but then he broke the back of the chase with two big wickets, both the set batsmen. So yeah, have to give it to Thakur. And came back well from. He had given runs in his first few overs, 2 overs as well. So it's a good comeback from him.
Puneet, what do you think?
I think it's quite difficult to tell like what's the turning point. I'm confused between two choices. For me, first was the way Sky played at the top, because today when Sky came, we're scoring at 600 in the power play. We were 28 for 1 around 4.4 overs, and we didn't lose many wickets from the kind of wicket we lost in the last matches, but we are not very in terms of run rate, we're not very high. And the way he started with the six and the boundary, I think that gave the team the momentum, and he just told the other players that we could be able to score on 180 and 200 because the pitch was very good for batting, and we need to score that. So I think that was also one turning point. And obviously, as Rahul told, Shardu's 2 wicket in the second innings were definitely the match changing over. I think at that time I was sure India was going to lose this, but the way he took 2 wickets on 2 balls of Stokes and Morgan, one of the best finishers in world cricket, I think there was no hope left for England. So quite difficult to tell. 51-49, 51 for Sky, maybe biased, and 49 Shardul, but very difficult to what was the turning point. These two were the major.
Okay, and Saurabh, what was your thought on the turning point of this game?
See, when everybody talk about the Sky, I would say the 180 was a par number there. 186 was a par number on this stage. So I would say he did good job, but we could have been done way better because we had 17th over or 2 overs or 2.5 overs to go. We were on 170, 169, and we didn't finish well at all. Thanks to Shardu, some 2-3 boundaries we hit. All thanks to his cheeky boundaries and proper boundaries, which took to India 186. But again, pitch was really good. Dew was supposed to come. India was playing with the 3 bowlers, 2 all-rounders. One was coming back after ages. But as a bowler, I'm talking about Hardik. Washington Sundar should have been bowling during that power play, but unfortunately, what happened to Kohli, I don't know nowadays. He let him bowl, but I'm still thinking that he's our Ashan now. So that's the reason he's giving him more on a middle over bowling. Here, the turning point for me is 2 balls, 2 wickets, 101%. Nothing. Because he got the 2 wickets of Morgan, Stokes and Morgan. Because if the Morgan could have been there, we all know. Morgan got out, right?
Yeah.
Morgan and Stokes.
Morgan was there. Morgan and Stokes. Stokes and Morgan, the very good because Stokes was some beast mode. Hitting sixes with power, not with the skill for sure. He was just throwing his bat and ball was skidding on a pitch and outfield was full of dew and he was getting sixes and fours and all. So 100% to Shardul Thakur and Abhinav sir.
And yes, I've been a known critic of Shardul Thakur before, but
Used to
like
be.
I've often said, I used to be, and once I said after Brisbane, I've humbly eaten kawa biryani after it. And yes, I think Shardul deserves all the praise and adulation that's coming his way, and he did really well today. Again, I think for me, he was the game changer, and I think with that, my second game changer, I think would be Shreyas Iyer's cameo at the end, and I think this is the segue, and that becomes a segue to discuss Shreyas Iyer and his knock today, 37 of 17, coming at number 6 for somebody who is supposed to be the odd man out of this T20 setup, and suddenly just he took what is going to be a par score into a score of just above 180. So what do you think about how Shreyas Iyer played? Rahul, I'll start with you.
I have to say, he really takes his opportunities. Have to give credit, and I don't like. I'm always critical that he should not be playing just because India have. He's not. We don't really need him. That anchor role that he plays, but today what his innings is show that it's really impressive. And yeah, like you have to come in how he takes his opportunities. Not everyone does. Different role today. He really, like you said, yeah, he really changed the course of the first innings. Without him, India would have maybe 165, 170, and we wouldn't have defended that.
Puneet, your thoughts? Shreyas Iyer, 37 or 17. What do you think? How big a game changing moment it was?
So I think what I like about Iyer is his attitude. I think Iyer is someone I have always liked because he always takes his chances. He always judges the match situation very well whenever he's played for India. At whatever position, at whatever number, he knows what he has to do at that time, and he plays well within his limitations. Today, when he came in the 13th over, I didn't expect him to start so well. I was like he would take few balls, but he knew that he wanted to carry the momentum which Surya has given to the team. And there was no spinner bowling. I think Rashid was already done with the spell, so he has to play the pacers, which is not his strength, to be very honest. But he never tried to slog them. He tried to time the ball. He tried to find the gaps and tried to hit boundaries, force, which is his strength. Not trying to slog the pacers and trying to hit them for a six. And that's what you like about someone like Shreyas Iyer, that he knows his game. He knows how he can score runs within his limitations, and that was something which changed the momentum of the game because Rishabh Pant was not timing the ball very well. He took his time. He scored few boundaries, but the bowlers were getting better off him at times. So Shreyas Iyer was someone who took the match further and carried the momentum and played some really good shots. I guess he played a pull shot. He played a good cover drive on the first ball of which he got of Sam Curran, which was a full delivery, and then the kind of gaps he found. I think Shreyas Iyer is someone is the kind of player you would always have in 15 the World Cup. I think he should have because he can arrest collapses. If we have an early wicket loss, he can play. He can be anchor. And at times when he needs someone in the last few overs, he can do that. I agree that he is not a slogger. He can't hit from the ball one at times. At times bowlers will come over him, but in 11 there might be some. He might not play in the 11 because of the balance issues, but in the 15 you need that character. You need that kind of guy who is always for the team, who is always has the right intent and attitude. So I think it was a great knock.
Saurabh, what do you feel about it? And you've got a few admirers over here. Saurabh Kumar says, Saurabh sir, good vibes. And then Robin Rounder says, सौरभ भैया तो ड्रीम 11 में जीत के मुस्कुरा रहे हैं. So yes, there are a few admirers over here. And so what do you think about Shreyas Iyer?
See, it is to be said, na, कि आपको जब जबरदस्ती कहीं रखा जाए एग्जैक्टली कि यू डोंट हैव एनी ऑप्शन, यू नो दैट यू आर द नेक्स्ट गोट. बकरी की माँ कब तक खैर मनाएगी वाला condition right now with this guy Iyer. And what I felt always that Iyer is not a guy, absolutely not a guy whom you can absolutely play at number 5-6 in T20. I'm so sorry to say. If somebody was to leave or not able to play this match, it was supposed to be Iyer because he is vested at number 5-6. He is good at number 4 till number 4 or number 3. He is not at all he's not an opener. He is not at number 5. Number 5 might be in ODI, that's fine, in test matches. But if you say he's a very, very neat and clean hitter, I must say, I must admit he can clean hit to 90-95 meter boundaries around without an out of doubt. But if you say that he played well, he didn't have any option, and luckily he's in a good touch right now. Past 2 matches, he's scoring some runs. But again, I'm really feeling for him. If you play, please play in number 4. Don't waste him at number 5-6 because in T20, if you're playing at number 5, number 6, you should be bowling a little bit because you have to give 1 or 2 overs. And we all know Shreyas Iyer is not that great fielder, but amazing. I'm telling you again, I don't have any enmity, I don't have any friendship with him. But I feel bad for him. If he's playing T20, he should be playing number 4, whether he's scoring runs, he's not scoring runs, whatever it is. 3 and 4 is his choice. That's it. He played well today, best of luck. But again, बकरे की माँ कब तक खैर मनाएगी? आज नहीं तो कल कटी जाएगी.
Very, very nicely put, and there are quite a few questions coming in, and we'll actually segue into the conundrum and the complex individual called Hardik Pandya and the opinions he's divided in today's games. And there's quite a few questions about him. I think he's created a lot of buzz in our comment section. So there's Robin Rounder again saying Hardik is one of the most crucial players in T20s for us. Just needs to spend a little time on the crease with the bat. Not to forget that England have been brilliant with the brilliant against him. Shaurya Mittal said, do you think Pandya has any valuable contributions to make in the back over conversations? He's trying to get screen time, isn't he? There's a little bit. Robin again, he commented about his bowling, saying Robin that Hardik's bowling was very crucial considering the 5-man bowling attack. And there was also from Kaushik, who's said that who's asked for thoughts on Hardik's bowling in the power play overs. Was it a good move and keeping the faith on him, or was it plain simple a good day for Hardik? So Puneet, you take start. What is it about Hardik Pandya? I mean, is he what's the thing with him as a batsman? He's looking a little uncomfortable, but today his bowling suddenly just came really good today. What do you think about how did Hardik Pandya do for you today? I mean, as a bowler.
So as a batsman, I will first talk about. So we already know that Hardik Pandya has some issues with the sheer pace. If someone is bowling at 145 plus and bowling at hard lengths, he finds it difficult at times to hit. Also, he has not played a match from long time since the T20 series in Australia. So he has not been given a lot of match time. So I think he would come fine. I think the way that he's a monstrous hitter, I think he's our best all-rounder, best pace bowling all-rounder, and the way he hits spinners and he can hit the bowlers all around, he would come good when it comes to his batting. Regarding his bowling, I think I was totally surprised with the way he's bowled today. I think he's bowling after a long time. He was given the major quota to bowl 4 overs, and the way he used his cutters, I think was very good. I think. And also with as Kaushik asked, like thought on Hardik bowling in power play, I think it was the reason. I think the Kohli bowled him in power play was because we got 185. Bhuvneshwar Kumar gave us a good first mid-in over, so he just wanted someone to bowl a good defensive line lengths with a lot of slow ones and cutters, and that's what Hardik is good at. I think so. He wanted to just be react. He was calculative, Virat, in terms of not giving a spinner over or Shardul who can be costly in power play. So Hardik was the right person at that time to bowl those cutters and to bowl to give some surprise to this English batsman or likes of Roy and Butler. I think it was a good move. I told one friend of mine as well that it was a very good move to bring in Hardik, and he totally bowled very well. I think even in the death, the way he used his slower ones, he has a very good slower bouncer now. I think he used his quite effectively today. So I think Hardik's fifth bowling as a fifth bowler has been quite good in this match. I think that's the biggest positive. And regarding his batting, I think he would come good somehow.
Okay, and Rahul, what do you think about Hardik's bowling today? I mean, what do you think how he went about his bowling today? And 2 for 16 in 4 overs. I think a goldmine spell in a game where two teams almost got to both the teams almost got to 180. Your thoughts?
Considering Sundar had an off day, I think he did really brilliant to just give 4 runs and over. And he's like you said, effective use of the slower bouncer. I think there was one he bowled to Roy, which really took him by surprise. So and a Pandya who can bowl 4 overs is such an asset to India. If they want to play 7 batsmen and him as a they can do that, because if he can bowl 4, I still think they should have 6 bowlers instead of 5. It's too risky, and maybe that's another reason he bowled in the power play. He has to rotate between the 5 bowlers, so he can't afford to give bowlers 2-3 over spells, because he will run out of options. But it's very impressive to see, and bodes well for India if he can stay fit and bowl 3-4 overs consistently.
There's a question coming in from Siddheshwar Sahu. Slightly of the Hardik Pandya discussion. Too much credit is being given to Rohit Sharma for captaining the last 4 overs. Shardul was the only option available. Thoughts on this? So Siddheshwar, you were asking. Please take my question. I think we are going to ask we are going to take your question on with our guests over here. So Saurabh, what do you think? Rohit Sharma, this entire about this question. I mean, it's a very complex question for all of us too.
When it was 4 overs, I remember, I just went to my dinner, because I had to come here for live show, and it was 4 overs, 46 runs needed.
Yeah.
Who was supposed to bowl? Come on, guys.
Shardul had to.
Shardul, and 1 from Hardik. Shardul 2, 1 from Hardik, 1 from Bhuvi.
Yes.
How he started? Shardul, Bhuvi, Hardik. Sorry, Shardul, Bhuvi, Hardik, then Shardul.
Yes.
And that Shardul over, somebody else, if it would have been somebody else, he would have been given a ball to Bhuvi. Sorry, Hardik. Might have been thought that we shall finish the ball over, continue with this guy. But no, he didn't do it. He went with Shardul instead of the Hardik. After Shardul, he didn't go with the Hardik. He went with the Bhuvi, then Hardik, then again Shardul last over. Or the Hardik did the 17th over.
Yes, Hardik bowled the 18th over. Hardik was the 18th over.
18th or Bhuvi was the 18th, because everybody was talking about the 18th. Very important.
Bhuvi bowled 19th, Hardik bowled 18th, Bhuvi bowled 16th. Hardik bowled
16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's what I said.
Yeah.
How
it was like
how we are going to, with this 2 overs was very crucial for our. I always forget. I don't know why. For whatever reason, it is your favorite player. Our own CSK. But again, it is Shardul is like, it is all depending upon the captain that how he is going to give the 4 overs to whom, and especially under such a tremendous situation when Stokes was on fire. Stokes was on fire. Few people were supposed to come. Bairstow just got out. But again, it's all together a very good call, and we all know that Sharma is having a very, very, very cool head on his shoulder. He doesn't get panic. He doesn't show his different behavior or something, which actually I'm missing in Kohli right now. Kohli was the Kohli who used to be. I'm missing Kohli a lot. The Kohli, aggressive Kohli. I'm missing a lot. He's like now playing with throwing the shoulder whenever team is a little bit down. And it doesn't look good, but you will never find Sharma. Sharma is like a captain of your Virender Sehwag school of captain. जो होगा देखेंगे, but for now, live in the moment. And he marks his player that he knows whom to give the ball. So yes, 4 overs matters a lot. I'm sure exactly in those 4 overs also, it was a big hand of and support of Kohli and the management. It's not that Sharma will take any decision just immediately in taking the 4 overs. It was pretty tough somebody to hand over the 4 overs for the last half an hour for 20 minutes and say, yes, you go and win the match. No, it's not. I'm sure he's there. Okay, Rohit Sharma has been credited with captaincy. Do you think he deserves that considering?
Is this elaborated on this question?
I think.
So, Puneet, I'll let you take this after.
But I think here it's sorry, go ahead.
No, Rasha, you were saying something, Saravda. You can just continue. I can.
Go ahead. I will continue with you. And then Rahul is also there. Rahul is man muskura raha hai. So something is cooking.
Totally unfair. I think it's totally unfair on Virat Kohli. I think there were 5 overs left, and anyone would have bowled Bhuvi at that time because England needed 51 to win in 5 overs.
Yeah, so 4 overs talking about the 5.
No. Virat Kohli came in the last over. He's talking about a 15 to 19th over. Virat Kohli came on the field for the last over. So 51 was needed in 5 overs with Stokes and Stokes and Morgan at the crease. He would have.
Dude, last 4 overs, whenever the question comes, it's already been planned, done. How exactly you are executing with the field, that matters. Bowlers, no, Baba. In half an hour, how can you say, no, I'm the captain, now I'm going to change somebody else? No. It's a Kohli's only. But the question is that, how you see, there is something called experience. He's having experience of winning 3 IPLs. Come on. And that's why the reason, always the vice captains are the powerful guys. The second powerful guys after this one, when the captains are around. Kohli was supported by earlier Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Rohit Sharma. You will see that Kohli is a better captain when the Rohit Sharma, Ajinkya Rahane, both are together and playing with him, rather than when the Rohit and Ajinkya is not playing, when all the pressure on him, he's playing with a young guy, then he's having issues because he doesn't have anyone who can give him exchanging the ideas. Because he's aggressive. Huh? He's having so many things in his mind. Somebody has to and pat is regulation. So I think in that case, you may say that it is altogether mindset of the Virat Kohli. Absolutely, nobody can take this win from Virat Kohli any given day, any given time. But again, here Mr. Sid wants to ask specific question that Rohit Sharma has been credited with the captaincy tonight. This is the main headline, I think, rather than anything else for the point that is associated with that. Because ultimately those 4 overs were very important because where India's condition has come from 12.68 to 10. That Bhuvi's over actually changed the game brought to 10 to 11.45 in that over 4 over 46. So, bound to happen this thing. Puneet Latta is not very happy with my answers. Go ahead, Puneet.
No, it's not like. I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to convey like there are 5 overs left and 51 was needed. So any captain, I think I have seen Virat Kohli's captaincy as well, and I'm a huge admirer of Rohit's captaincy, and that's not an issue about who is the better captain. In that situation, when 51 was left, Stokes at the crease, who's already set Morgan there, even Virat Kohli would have bowled Bhuvi with Shardul and then Hardik. So I think there's nothing. Rohit didn't do anything significant to get that credit which he's getting on the social media. I think that's what I just wanted to say. I think it was totally a normal phase of game in terms of giving the bowlers the right overs, which even Virat Kohli would have done, seeing the situation of the match. So I think giving credit to anyone for no reason, I don't think so. I think it was totally.
But one thing is there, my dear Puneet. किस्मत भी एक चीज होती है.
That's a different thing.
वरना 2003 में दादा भी गई थी. 2011 में आपके धोनी भी गए थे. धोनी was flop entire series and one knock 79, 92, and 91 not out, right? Final, which created the history. So question is that the luck. It's a Christmas match
It's
is not
okay.
right.
This topic has dragged a
It's
lot.
okay.
Let's change the topic. Let's change the topic.
So now
No,
we
bhai,
go
Rahul bhai has
to
also.
Pratyush's question about thoughts on the role of Washington Sundar, and I'll be taking Rahul first up on that. What do you think? Because I think he had a very bad game with the ball today. I think he and there is all Pratyush asked about the thoughts of Washington Sundar. Saurabh Da himself. Commented on Sundar needs to improve his T20 batting and needs to bowl in the power play. So, and there is also Arun Bansal who said, "Do you drop Sundar for the next game?" So, Rahul, I'll be taking you on for Washington Sundar for first up.
Yeah, he has to bowl in the power play. I agree. Maybe that's the issue. If you're going in 5 bowlers, then Kohli's not thinking. He's thinking more. He needs to rotate all the bowlers, and that's why he wants that another one spinner to. He wants 2 spinners as options to bowl in the middle overs, which is why they need to go with that an extra spin bowling all rounder, which will happen when Jadeja returns. So that's not really a concern. But yeah, Sundar needs to bowl. I agree. He has to bowl in the power play. That's where he's shown provide most value. And as for today,
Give him the fourth straight over, no?
yeah, it's just an
Or the
off day.
3+1.
Yeah, today is just an off day. He's been bowling well in every game.
But he did well. He did good. He did really well. Ball till third over.
Yeah, correct. And then he got hit by.
That is bound to happen. No? He was hitting that.
Yeah.
He was hitting madly, and he was lucky enough to hit. This Besto is just hitting madly because he was getting supposed to get out. He was not able to understand ball is still ball was straight. He was not able to understand. He was just sweeping. He's batting like a mad boy. He just has to hit, and the weight field actually helped him. So Sundar didn't ball that badly.
Yeah, he did
But
bowl.
I like the
I think
but
India.
I like the commentary of Pant a lot when he was there.
I think India just focused a lot on that right hand, left hand, and they're reluctant to bowl Sundar when there are two right hand batsmen in. So how much that I don't know how right that tactic is. I mean, I think the plan was for him to bowl to Stokes, but then Bairstow was on strike, and then he took him down. I think that's nothing you can do about it.
Besto was playing with the luck, dude. Nothing else. Because
Yeah,
today the way he started, he was hitting every ball out of the park, and he was getting on a hit, on a pad, on a chase, God knows where all. So it's all about the luck. I think. If you can't drop Sundar, come on, you don't have any fifth bowler with you whom you will play with. Chahar is senior. Who can bat too? He can give you some good 5 ball 10, 5 ball 15 runs for you. But again, Sundar is little bit.
And Puneet, what do you think about Washington Sundar? I mean, off day, do you want to drop him for the final game, or what is it? I mean, your thoughts about it.
So I think Sundar had an off day. I would say. Along with that, he had to bowl with the dew, and that's not an easy for a finger spinner especially. We have already seen a lot of finger spinners' career have been ended after bowling a lot of with a dew ball in India in T20 match, and they never played after that. So I think it's not easy to bowl with a wet ball under lights in India for a spinner. Along with that, I think what also Virat wants is he wants him to develop his game for middle overs as well. I think because he sees Sundar as also as a first spinner at times for a team in 11. So he wants him to develop his game to bowl in middle overs as well because time might come where India have to play only two spinners and with Chahal may not be performing and India going with a more defensive option. They may play Jadeja and Sundar as two spinners in 11 in some conditions in India where they may think that spinners may go for a lot of runs. So for that, he wants Sundar to be more versatile in terms of he can bowl in all phases of the game, not only in power play. Also, Virat is obsessed with matchups. So I think with Roy and Butler there, he didn't give the ball to Sundar. And when he got the ball, Roy smashed him. I think he bowled the last over in the power play and he gave over 17 runs. And so English batsmen were also trying to attack Sundar. So I think Sundar has been quite good for India in T20s. He is a power play specialist for now, but I think he needs to be. He would develop his game. He would improve his game. I think he's a quality bowler. I think he shouldn't be dropped. I think he should be backed. He's a second spinner at worst case for a team, and he should be backed.
Uditi Singh put this question up. What is the one takeaway that the team might have taken after this game, especially for India? Because after that, I'll be going on to the England performance and especially one player. So I'll take Saurabh on first up. One takeaway that the Indian team might have taken away from might take away from this game.
Positive or negative?
It's your call. It's your call. You make the decision.
I think it's the fielding. They have to improve the fielding. They have to improve the fielding. Indian has to improve the fielding. No, because past few matches I'm seeing that they are missing lots of catches. And at the same time, even though we can say that Malan took a catch that is luckily Yadav got out, but it was a brilliant effort. So
Yes.
Took a catch. It's a brilliant effort. But in the same time, we missed the catches.
Yes.
Shadul missed the catch. We run out the way Virat Kohli missed. I would not say it's a run out, but again, the way Virat hit through because of the due. But again, you have to fielding is in your hand. You have to control. The one thing I would like to take it forward from here is the fielding. I wish Indian team will come with a better fielder, but unfortunately, they don't have that much of brilliant fielder in the team. I must say they are having safe fielders, good fielders. I doubt anybody right now is a brilliant fielder at this moment in this Indian team. So I must say the fielding is the thing that India will take it forward. As a positive one, he has to improve.
Okay, Puneet, your one takeaway from this game for Team India.
I think they would have realized, even though we won the match, but they would realize the importance of a sixth bowler, to have six bowling options, because today our two spinners had a rough day. They went for a lot of runs under due, and Hardik Pandya compensated that today as a fifth bowler. But I think these days won't come. These days won't come every time. There might come a time where two bowlers out of fifth would have a bad day, especially under lights, under due, when the ball would be wet. They need a sixth bowler. I think so. I think in this series, I'm pretty sure they are playing with five bowlers because they want to give every batsman the opportunity to bat in this series. But I think in the long term, I think they would have realized by today's game that if Hardik Pandya would have not bowled that decisive spell, we would have lost this match very easily. I think by 18th or 19th over. So we need six bowling options because there would be a day where one or two bowlers would have an off day, and that's quite common to have in a T20 cricket.
Yes, and that's why Shashank's question that they know that with four bowlers and an all-rounder, they can't survive. Rahul, your one takeaway, and how do you respond to what Shashank has commented upon here?
I think that the takeaway what they'll take away is that Iyer can play that kind of innings at number 6, and so he will remain in the team, because earlier the criticism is, he's an anchor, so okay, maybe we can drop him. But if he plays this kind of knock, I think he's cemented his role. We have to wait and see if that remains the case. As for the question, I think Kohli should know by now from his RCB struggles that five bowlers is never a good idea. So if he has not learned it by now, then that is concerning.
Okay, now we head on to England and one player in particular, David Malan, and that's where Sohil Kesharwani's question. Malan made a mistake with that huge sweep. So what do you think? I mean, David Malan came into the series with the reputation of being the number one ranked T20 batsman on the ICC rankings. A lot of hype was built up on him, and right now he's kind of getting found out with the spin. So what about David Malan, and do you think Malan's place in this England team could be under jeopardy, considering that England have a T20 World Cup that will be played in India, and there's there are guys like Moeen Ali and Sam Billings on the bench, both of whom can play spin very well. And there's also the underrated pick, not on this team, Joe Root. What do you think? David Malan's sweep today against how he completely got beaten by Rahul Chahar, and do you think his place is now under the scanner? Saurabh, you take out.
See, we all know that English player can't play spin that well. They always bowled on straight ball. Unfortunately, here also ball was under dew, right? It was like wet, and he got bowled. It, he played well. How many? 15, 17 T20? And where? South Africa? Where?
South Africa, England, New Zealand. South Africa, England, and New Zealand.
These
Not
two,
even
three places
Australia.
where he played where. In Australia also he played, if I'm not wrong. He played 2 innings at Australia also. Wherever. In 15, 16 matches, he got number one because due to the pandemic, nobody was playing anywhere. First of all. Second, you are playing spinner in Indian situation, condition, or wherever in the world, you need a squad. David Malan, automatically, hardly how many years he will play for England? Hardly 1 or 2 years. What I know about Ian Morgan, he is not going to change his team immediately. He is not a firm believer of changing his team, as Vaughan has told, Michael Vaughan told clearly. It is on Morgan's team, not somebody else who is sitting in England and saying that Moeen Ali, you took 8 wickets and some 70 runs, go back to England and enjoy. No, he won't let it be. He is creating a core. He will play with that. He will give him the opportunity. And I'm sure David Malan will be a little bit changed player when he will be playing for Kings 11. But again, I really feel for Kings 11 fans at this moment. I know few diehard fans who are like having heart attacks right now.
And that's where Robin's question, bola andar ka CSK fan.
No. When I'm talking about the national things, franchise can wait. Franchise cricket can wait. But again, the way he got out in last four T20 is really a concern for him because he's not able to understand. He played he got really good fingers, doubles. He really rotated the score and all on pace bowlers, but it was pretty tough for him to play the spin. So I must say that let him play the IPL few matches. I'm sure exactly he will a different. If he could not, then he would not leave there. If he will not play good IPL, he will be not playing the T20 World Cup also. I'm damn sure about it.
Puneet, your views about David Malan, and do you think there's a possibility that for the decider, maybe Morgan puts punts on a Moeen Ali or a Sam Billings?
I don't think Morgan is going to change the team for the decider. I think he's a firm believer of keeping his core intact and playing with the players whom he believes in and who have done well. Also, I think Malan is someone who has done all around the world apart from subcontinent. This is his first series which he's playing in a subcontinent, and he's known to that he doesn't play spin that well. Also, this is his first series, so I think we need to give him some leverage in terms of how he has performed. I think also with an IPL season coming, if he gets matches, I think he would improve. And leading up to the World Cup, if he doesn't perform, seeing that the World Cup is going to be played in India, England also have a lot of good options as well. There are a lot of good talent which is sitting in the bench for England and who can do the same job as Malan can do. So I think it's a good test for David Malan, and I think he should be back for the next series decider. And with the IPL coming up, I think he would be. If we can only judge him after that, not right now.
Rahul, what do you think? David Malan again looked at all at sea against spin. Your views?
I think the issue with Malan is he starts quite slow. Even before this series, that is the criticism that he starts slow. And England, with the firepower they have, do they really need a batsman who bats slow and then makes up for it later when they can just have a batsman who plays fast from the start? And yeah, like you said it's his first series in India, so have to give him leeway. Like, I mean, the number one ranking is it's just funny to me because I think the T20 batting rankings are obviously flawed because puts too much emphasis on batting average. I don't know how it's calculated, but probably. And he's also quite inexperienced. Uni has played 19 T20s.
Very true. He
And he's
hardly played out of England.
before the
During
series,
his
19 T20s and internationals. And he's also spoken about how I read an interview, I think earlier in the week. He said when he was in bad form, England actually weren't selecting him for whatever reason. But he's been lucky that whenever he's played for England, he's actually been in decent form. And now, he's struggling. But like the IPL will be an extended opportunity for him to practice and show that he can do it in India. If he can't, then his role will
It'll
be
be tough for him to play. One more thing I found out here that he is in the same stature once Ian Morgan used to be.
yeah. And then that.
Ian Morgan's IPL was such a failure for the initial season.
Yes.
He played some 8 or 10 for KKR, I think, if I'm not wrong, and he scored hardly 100, 120, 150 runs.
Yes.
It was a big failure, right? So I think somewhere down the line, Malan will be the same case, but somewhere I think that Malan is more mature. That is the only positive. Malan is a very mature. He doesn't have age in his hand. He's in 30s, if I'm not wrong, and somewhere down the line he will improve with the time. But again, till the time, I hope he will not run away with lots of runs in final. Till then, I'm fine. He should not play against India. Don't score against India. I'm fine. In IPL, you score 1,000 and dozen. I don't care. Just don't play against India. Get out on zeros, 2, 3. Take the IPL. I don't care.
Okay, and we're approaching the final segment of the show, so we'll just take a flurry of questions that have come in from Pratyush. There's about Ravichandran, a lot of talk about Ravichandran Ashwin's inclusion in T20 cricket. What do you guys think? He's also asked about for one spot between Ravindra Jadeja, Akshar Patel, Krunal Pandya, pick one. Then he's also asked about whether Chahal and Chahar for both in the T20 World Cup or a variety with Kuldeep or Varun coming in. He's again.
We will forget the questions. Let's keep one at a
Okay,
time.
yeah, let's and we've already crossed the 1 hour mark. We're approaching the 1 hour 1 hour 10 mark, so I think we have to make it quite quick. So
Absolutely.
First up, Ravichandran Ashwin in T20 international for India. Do you think should he be there?
Absolutely.
Saurabh.
Absolutely, he should play.
Okay. Puneet, it's going to be short responses now. So Puneet, what do you think? Should he be there or should he not?
I think it's quite difficult because team would be going with max 3 to 4 spin options with Jaddu would be as a surety as all-rounder, and with the wrist spinner would always be a surety. So there's always would be a toss-up between Sundar and Ashwin, or they can play both Sundar Ashwin, or they can go for another risky option. So it's quite difficult. Right now, I'm not sure. Even I want Ashwin in T20 wise because I feel Ashwin as a bowler is better than Sundar in T20s for me. May not be for the team management, but for me as a bowler, he's better than Sundar because he can bowl in all phases of the game. But in T20s, we see a lot of package. We see what that package gives us as a player. So I think I'm still not sure. But we need, as you said, let's keep it crisp. So I'm not sure for now.
Rahul, Ashwin T20I is yes or no?
I'm also not sure. I think his fielding is a concern. That I'll just say that, fielding is.
Then he asked about one spot between Jadeja, Krunal, and Akshar. One of them? Whom do you pick?
Big no to Akshar. The way Jaddu is batting, Jaddu gives you a good batting nowadays, especially, and the brilliant fielding. Look, you can keep him for his fielding only. Leave everything aside. Exactly. For his fielding only, you can keep him. Don't play anywhere, and he can give you 1 or 2 overs. But on a normal side, I would like to go ahead with the Krunal.
Okay,
Because
very
Krunal is a
interesting. Very interesting.
brilliant batsman. Brilliant batsman. But the way Jaddu right now going on and how he will come back after the injury, because before injury he was a brilliant batsman. Brilliant batsman, I'm telling you, brilliant
Yes.
batsman.
Yes. Yes.
And bowling wise, he did okay. Not, I'm not talking about test matches, I'm talking about the T20s only here.
Yes.
Okay is in the T20s, not that great. But as a Krunal is a package of as a batsman, as a bowler who will get 4 over 20, 25 runs, darting. That's
Was
it, 4 over
only
finish.
was the plaster one.
But darting. Play him as an in finger. That's it. Score and all. Doesn't matter. Ball is skidding. Ball is in having dew. It ball has went to the ocean. Doesn't matter. Bring it ball. Dart. So I think Akshar is not a T20 material as per me because he's fielding and all. Krunal is a good fielder. Jaddu have a soft corner because of his brilliant fielding. Because on his day he
Absolutely.
can give you a run
Also,
out which is
also,
absolutely out of the context.
also
And the batting
CSK.
also has improved a lot. CSK तो खैर अभी है. I'm very much in his favor of Jaddu from 2006 onwards only when he used to play under 19, 2006 and then 2008, and then after he scored the 3 triple centuries in for his team, and those things are brilliant. And who is having a 500 wickets, dude? 400 some change wickets in first class in the 5,800 runs. Come on, dude. Nobody is having in India now in this current situation
So in
and
short,
scenario.
you've already ruled out Akshar between Krunal
I
and
ruled out.
Jadeja. Which one?
Jadeja.
Which one would you want?
Depending upon the situation and the thing, Jaddu and Krunal. Jaddu or Krunal, horses for course.
Arey, just
Okay.
choose one now. For
I
me,
said
for
the
me,
horses
it's
for courses. Look, is a
for
day-night
me.
matches Krunal, day matches Jaddu.
Okay,
So for
Puneet,
me, so
your
for,
choice.
so for me, it's Jadeja any day, any game, anywhere. I think Jadeja for me, the way he has improved his batting as a finisher, the way he bats against pacers at the death, he has improved his range as a batsman. Along with that, wherever there would be a grip, quite handy as a bowler. He becomes a 4 over bowler, and he is a quite he's a very underrated T20 bowler as well. Whenever there is a grip in the pitch, on flat decks he may not bowl, and he is for me he's as good as a bowler as Kunal, or maybe better. On some pitches he's quite better. So, and also for
No.
Saurabh, when I said CSK, it was just said in a jest. Even I am a huge fan
अरे
of
बाबा
Jadeja.
I understand.
So
वो
Jaddu
तो
all
ऐसा
the
रहेगा
way.
ना. IPL is
Jaddu
coming.
Puneet.
IPL is just approaching 9th of April. Come on. अब तो बात होगी कि it's a Kings 11 पंजाब का Malan या फिर Sam Curran belongs to CSK and Morgan belongs to KKR. Forget about England and India. They will also feel that I am England. No, I am not England. I am KKR. I am CSK.
And
So it's about her.
and Rahul,
Yeah,
between
Rahul.
these three.
Jadeja, easy choice for me.
Okay, great. Then he's asked, Pratyush once again asked, Chahal and Chahar both for T20s, or do you want to have a variety, bring in the variety of either Kuldeep or Varun Chakravarti?
Alternates
Short
of both.
responses.
If you're
Alternate.
if you're
One
playing
from the.
yeah, no. If
Go
you're
ahead.
playing three spinners, if you're playing 3 spinners, then yeah, you can go with 2 leg spinners. But if the third spinner is Jadeja, but I think that's a bit too aggressive. I think they would want Washington as that defensive option. I think Varun, with the way he failed his fitness test, I think it's very difficult for him to play in the World
Come
Cup.
back.
Yeah.
Because Kohli doesn't like anyone who anyway down the line is not fitness freak.
Yeah.
For me, it is
And-
one guy from the both teams, Chahal and Kuldeep Chahal or Varun, or the Chahar and Kuldeep Chahar or Varun, depending upon the situation.
Okay, and Puneet, what do you
Because
think?
sorry.
Sure.
I think
Continue.
the only problem is that Kuldeep and Varun both are the slow fielders.
Yes.
That's the biggest problem. Chahal and Chahar both are the safe fielders. So that is the only
Okay.
possible. But both Chahal and Chahar cannot play together.
Yes. Okay. Puneet, your short response
So,
to this.
so if there's a squad in for 15, if it's like it's a normal World Cup, I think only 3 spinners can find a place, at least in my squad, which I made for the World Cup. So there would be Akshar, sorry, not Akshar, sorry. It would be Jadeja, Sundar, and between one of Chahal and Chahar. Now, so it's surety that there would be one of Chahal and Chahar. But between Kuldeep or Varun, I think they might be one if they are having a bigger squad, because if they tend to have four spinners in the squad of 17 or 18, or in the squad of 15 as well. So I think it's tricky depending upon the squad is the squad size. But it's definitely one thing is sure, one of Chahal and Chahar would be in the T20 World Cup. Not sure about Kuldeep or Varun. It depending on the squad size.
And Rahul.
No, yeah, I mean, I think I already answered, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And Pratyush, once again, he's bombarded us with more than a few questions. DK or Samson can make the Indian T20I squad. Importance to you guys. I mean, very short responses on this.
No.
I think I think too high. As Saurabh said, I think there's very slight chance. Again, it depends on the squad size. If it's 15, like a normal World Cup squad, there's no chance for DK or Samson.
25
DK
भी नहीं आएगा.
it's DK. No, Samson might come in 25, but but DK has no chance at 25.
Especially the way Ishan Kishan has played the innings, and the IPL will big show to him. Only negative for Samson is that he's going to captain first time for IPL. I don't know how he will perform. Basically, generally he plays first few games very good at few places, and then he faded away. That's a big problem for him. And DK's days has gone. I'm 100% sure he's a great servant of Indian cricket, but his days has gone because the way youngsters have come right now. Iyer is not able to get a chance in the top six. How does DK would get a chance to? So I don't think so. Forget about it. Samson in one-day cricket might come. T20, the way Ishan played, the hopeful to the pace bowlers, spinners, the clean hit to the 100 meters. I don't think so anywhere down, because we have two safest wicket keepers. Samson is not wicket keeping a lot. Again, Ishan is a regular wicket keeper. Pant is a regular wicket keeper. So you need a regular wicket keeper who can keep, who can bat, and who can bat like a.
And then there's also KL Rahul who can keep. So that also complicates the matters even further for
I don't think
Sanju Samson.
is having any opportunity because he didn't get a chance now. He won't get a chance either.
Rahul, what do you think?
DK is doing commentary for Sky Sports, so I think he's out of the picture. Samson,
unfortunately, out.
No, he's 35. 36. He knows.
Yeah,
he knows. Yeah, he knows that now the youngsters are playing. Come on, youngsters are playing. Everybody is performing. And match in India, DK would have been much better a prospect if you were supposed to play in South Africa, England, where exactly his experience will come to us in India, where the IPL even T20I scored 5 sixes in a row.
Yeah.
So where you are getting an opportunity for that picture?
Samson, say
let him continue. He was saying something.
Rahul saying something.
About Samson, India should have backed him after the Australia series. He's someone who he doesn't play for himself. He's really quite inconsistent, but I feel he should have been given the chance, considering he's someone who's all about that intent. He goes for the big shots from ball one. And then when Kohli spoke about, we're going to play aggressive now, and then they dropped Samson. That is a bit disappointing. But yeah, he's not consistent enough, unfortunately. Great player to watch.
Even not in Ranji and List A matches.
Yeah.
And one of the last questions from Pratyush. Bhuvi, Bumrah, there's a typo. So Bhuvi, Bumrah, Nattu, and Thakur, who will be your fifth pacer?
Huh?
I mean, basically a fourth, fifth pacer. I mean, whom do you want in your pace attack for the T20 World Cup?
So my squad.
Very short responses.
So in my squad, Bhuvi, Bumrah, Nattu, and Shardul are the four pacers, and the fifth pace option would be Hardik Pandya. No one else in the squad. So I'm considering the squad would be of 15 only for the World Cups. It may be bigger for the COVID pandemic, but 15 for 15, they would be my four pacers.
Rahul, what do you think?
If you're just looking at who's fifth in line, I'd say Saini is the one who's fifth in line.
Okay. And Saurabh?
Shami.
Yeah. If they have a fifth pacer,
you need to back up you need to get a backup with the experience in T20s, because the way he played in New Zealand was amazing. He can move the ball. He'll go for 8-9 runs, but he gives to the wicket too. In T20s, go for 15 runs an over. If you're taking 2 wickets, you're sorted. Because ultimately, anybody can score 15 or 20 runs in an over. But again, if you take a wicket of that guy, then that matters. So if you're a wicket taker, Nothing else is a problem. The fifth one is the Saini. I won't play with because I lost, unfortunately. So I think Saini has to go to the domestic cricket. Let him play for another 1 or 2 years properly. Then himself come back.
And we'll end this one with a question from Arun. Your 11 for the final game. Both I'll be putting India and England. Your 11s for both teams. We'll start with Puneet.
So for the I would like to have a 6 bowling options because since it's a series decider and we should play to win the series. And as I told, how important is to have a 6 bowling option. So I would like to bring in a pacer, and that would preferably be an extra pace of Saini. And now it's and since we have a very deep batting order, I'm tempted to keep Rahul out for the decider, even though I want to back him. It's just for the one match because everyone else has performed. So I'm tempted to keep Rahul because I want a 6 bowling option for a decider. So I'm not sure whom to drop. So I'm dropping Rahul.
Rahul for Navdeep Saini, and who moves at the top of the order for you to join Rohit?
That's a tricky question because I would then play Sky Sky as an opener, and at 3 I would play Virat Kohli, or maybe Shreyas Iyer at the top.
And for England, what do you think? Any changes required? David, do they go in unchanged, or do they punt on putting in a Moeen Ali and get his off spin into the game, or do they prefer the dynamism of Sam Billings?
I think they should just make one change. I think they should drop Sam Curran for the last T20I because he's batting at too lower on the position. He's not getting many balls, and also he's not bowling also. And with Stokes filling in for 2-3 overs, they should play Moeen Ali in place of Sam Curran for the last T20I.
Okay, Rahul, your 11 for India and England.
Yeah, so I agree with about England. Yeah, I think Moeen would give that additional spin option, so that would be a good change. For India, if Kishan is recovered from his injury, then yeah, we could see him back. Likewise, if Kohli is he went off, so if he's 50-50, then it'd just be best for him to sit out, and then some Indians will get their wish of Rohit Sharma captaining.
Even I want to rest Kohli because he has not rested the whole series, but that's not happening. So I just made a change which a lot of people want, like someone like Rahul to be dropped for some player. So it's like he's the only player who's not performed in this series. So that's a very forced change.
I would back KL. He's got 4 games, given the 5th, but I want to see him do well. No. So I'm biased.
No, I want to see him do well, but the thing is, I wanted to have a 6 bowling option and whom to drop. You can't drop Rohit, you can't drop Virat.
That's a good point.
Yeah. There's a point. There's a point. I mean, no good teams in T20 cricket can work on just a 5 bowler setup. And going with that, to Saurabh, your India and England 11s. And then we'll take in a couple of final comments, fun final comments, and then we'll end this one. Your 11 for India.
I will go ahead with mostly with the same 11, with the small changes. With a small change, what I would like to do that number 3, Virat Kohli.
Okay.
SKY might come to the 4 or 5 depending upon the balls left or the.
Okay.
All these 3 will come as per the balls. I'm leaving out Iyer.
You're leaving Iyer out. Okay. Big call, especially considering today.
Yeah, Iyer. Doesn't matter for me. For me, he's a waste at number 5.
Okay. And whom do you bring in then?
Instead of that, I will be bringing in Deepak Chahar because if the ball is swinging at the night, he can do the good job over there.
Do you want to take a punt on a Rahul Tewatia for the decider? Take a punt on Rahul Tewatia because he's apparently recovered from his fitness. Has come through with his fitness issues. And do you think there could be a chance that Kohli might just want to punt with a bit of a wild card of Rahul Tewatia, or maybe if Nattu
I would have been gone for Varun Chakravarti in that case because he's unknown in it. But not with Rahul Tewatia for sure. Because see, if you talk about that distance, Shardul and Chahar can bowl for 2-3 hours, 3 overs and can score 20 or 30 runs. That matters. If you can't believe that somebody will come after it's 16 and cannot bat. It's not a thing. Even Rahul Chahar can hit few balls. Bhubi can hit some balls. So I think that Chahar Iyer is listed at number 5. If you want to play, you should play at number 4. And in given situation and given scored by those guys, I want Virat Kohli to be number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, depending upon the balls you have in hand. And I'm sure if the number 3 is Virat Kohli, wicket will not fall down immediately within the 10 overs if they are not playing that bad. Because openers are I will go with the Rahul because given that you have kept faith in him for the 4 matches, he stays out of it. You never know. A bad play, even a stopwatch shows the correct time 2 times in a day. So,
and your choice for England 11.
English team, English match, I will remove Johnny Bairstow because Johnny Bairstow, the batting I am not convinced with. In Indian scenario, I will bring in Moeen Ali. Sam Curran is also fine, so that they will have more bowling options. And we know that Indians doesn't play well
against Moeen Ali, especially.
Moeen Ali with Rohit and Virat both can't play off spin that well. Given the current situation, I'm not telling the past. Given the current situation, and he can be a really good hitter of the spinner. So what Bairstow can do after 10 balls, he can do within the 10 balls and get out.
Okay, and one final comment. I think Nirmal Ishwar says, Rahul, I love you. I think you've got an admirer in here. So, and I think with this, I think we all love
Rahul actually.
Yes, I think
lots of MS Dhoni things here.
Yes, I think we all do.
I love the 2018 Rahul.
I think we all do. I think we all do love that 2018 Rahul, and I think it's already been an hour and 27 minutes into the recording, so we'll have to, and it's already quite late in the night, so I think we'll have to call it a day. So thank you Saurabh, thank you Puneet, thank you Rahul for joining us for this amazing session of talking about cricket and all. So it's always fun to discuss cricket with a lot more people. It's never fun to do it alone. Always makes for engaging discussions when we are doing it more than with a full house, and you contributed some great insights about today's game and your thoughts and opinions about it. And thank you to all those people who commented, and also apologies to those whose comments we've not been able to take on board, I think, due to the paucity of time. So thank you everyone, and please subscribe to MTag More Than a Game's YouTube channel, the Instagram page MTag Official. Go onto their website, search on Google for their website, and hit the follow button on their Twitter handle. So thank you everyone. Good night, and keep watching.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Puneet. Thank you, Rahul. Thank you,
everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much.